Comparison is not the thief of joy. And I know you're probably thinking, Dave, that doesn't make any sense. But just hear me out. The reason why I say that is because when you compare yourselves to people that are better than you, it gives you a more open mind. It gives you room to improve on yourself. Because if you're always comparing yourselves to people that are either doing worse than you to boost your ego, or you're comparing yourself to, just to people in general, you're not really benefiting off that. That's why people say comparison it's the thief of joy, because when you compare yourself to others, you're constantly just you're putting shame on yourself because you're not them. So you resent them, you envy them. It's just like the last video I talked about. But when you compare yourself in a way to improve and become better, that gives you the chance to grow and be a better person. Whether that's money or positivity or whatever, or maybe there's a skill you want to learn. When you compare yourselves to better people, that gives you room to grow. It gives you an example, somebody to look up to, or whatever that is. It just all matters on how you go about things, ultimately. When you compare yourself to others, so if I compare myself to a supermodel, I'm gonna put myself down because I'm like, man, I don't look like them, or I don't look like this. That is a bad way to compare yourself. But if I compare myself in the sense of, what does this person do different than me that makes them better looking? So let's take physique, for example, like the gym. What is this person doing that their physique is so much better than mine? Now, yes, you can use the excuse, it's genetics, and yeah, some of it is genetics, and it's not all excuses. But you also have to realize that a lot of it also has to do with how consistent they are, how hard they train, what's their diet like, how consistent is their diet, that kind of thing. So when I see these dudes that are so much bigger than I am, I compare myself to them, but I compare in a way that it's like, what can I learn from these people? If you get what I'm saying. Comparison can be a thief of joy, yes, that is correct. But if you compare in a way to benefit yourself, you give yourself examples of people that, if you take things from them, it can improve your own life and your own character, then that's a good thing. And you just it's all about how you look at stuff. And that's how most of life is. It's just all about how you look at things. When you look at things through the angle of, man, this person's so much better than me, I can never be like them, then yeah, it is going to steal your happiness away. That's just a fact. But if I could sit here and be like, what would happen if I talk to this person, or what would happen if I take this from this person? Maybe this person knows this thing. It's like books, right? People cram years of experience in 300 pages. That's what a book is. And it's just up to you whether or not you're willing to sit down and just learn from that. Most people aren't. But the people who are gain a lot from it. That's just a fact. So it's things like this, right? So when you look at comparison through that kind of lens, it really isn't the thief of joy. It's not. It's all about how you look at things. I can compare myself to somebody who is so much healthier than I am, be like, what is their diet like compared to mine? And as long as you keep an open mind, you can admit your flaws. That is where the growth is. Because when you admit your flaws, you admit, okay, this is what this person's doing that makes them so much better. Not maybe as a person, but maybe they're doing this thing better. They eat cleaner than me. They stick to their cut. They stick to their bulk. Or they're always in the gym. They're always training till failure. Things like that. And maybe you look at yourself and you're like, okay, I do go to the gym consistently, but my diet's not the greatest. You're being honest with yourself and you're like, okay, that's what this person does that's different than me. That's how you should be comparing yourself, but most people don't. They compare themselves to other people as if there is no room to change. They compare themselves to people as if, oh, they're perfect and I'm just so bad. I'm so terrible. And that is not how you should look at things. It's just not. You are wasting your time, and that's just how it is. And this is kind of uncomfortable for me because I don't like recording on public, so this is a new thing for me. If I feel kind of awkward, that's why. But anyways, back to my point. Comparison can really be a good thing, and I think it's just all comes down to how you look at things. If you want the best in life, you gotta learn from people that are better than you. You gotta put your ego to the side and just admit to yourself, you know what, I am not the best. There are people out there that are better than me, and I'm willing to learn from them, no matter what the circumstances are. And as long as you open up your mind to those things, growth will happen. It's the people that keep so close-minded and they compare themselves in a negative manner that they put themselves down. It's not anybody else doing it for them, it's themselves. And you need to understand that way you can grow. Don't be like those people. Be the person that grows, be the person that's better, that betters themselves every single day. And you know what, I'll be honest, comparing yourself to yourself the day before is a lot better than compare yourself to others. But I do see a benefit in compare yourself to others because they live a different life, they have different experiences, maybe they're better at something than you, and that's a good thing too. It just, you gotta watch how you do it though. When you compare yourselves in the way of, man, I'm fat, he's fit, my life sucks. Or, man, this girl's curves are so much better than mine. That's not the way you should be doing it. Do what you want with your life. It's ultimately it is your life. Yes, I agree. But I'm telling you, if you listen to what I am telling you, I really do think that your mindset and your perspective on just things in life in general will change so much. Yes, I am young, and you could take that into account and be like, well, he's only 17, 18, what does he know? But there's 60-year-olds out there that don't even know any of this stuff. So it has nothing to do with my age. You just gotta just hear me out. Give me a chance to speak, and that's what I make these YouTube videos for, is simply to help you. But when you look at it through that lens though, comparison really can be a good thing. If I'm in a position I'm in right now, let's say I'm working a job I hate, I make terrible money, am I gonna compare myself to rich people? Probably. But if I do it in a way that it's like, okay, what does this person do? What's their mindset like? What are they like as a person that makes them this way that they are? What kind of thoughts do they have? What beliefs do they have about themselves that makes them so much different? How do they keep going to these things? Things like that. And you can use this like blueprint in anything in life in general, right? You can use this in health, you can use this in wealth, you can use this in positivity, you can do that whole thing. And sometimes comparing yourselves to people that are maybe less skilled or maybe somebody you don't want to be can also be a good thing. And I know that sounds bad, but just hear me out. So if you watch let's say you watch your brother, right? Goes to a job he hates, makes terrible pay, he's poor, hates his life. When you compare yourself to him, you'll be like, I really don't want to be like him. So what can I do separate from him that will make sure that doesn't happen, right? Things like that. Or maybe this person, they have to worry about their weight, and they have to worry about their health because they simply just don't want to get up and take care of it. I don't want to be like that. And that's okay too. Now, I'm not saying, put these people down, but you could try to build them up. But ultimately, this is what's going to happen. Either one, they're going to listen to you and their life's going to change, or two, they're not going to listen and you're just going to have to accept that. That's really all there is to it. It doesn't matter if it's your friends, it doesn't matter if it's your family. You can tell them all you want, but if they don't listen, that's just how it is. And yeah, it's sad, but sometimes you gotta just know when to stop. That's just the truth. I love helping people, I really do, but there are some people that could care less about what I have to say, and okay, it doesn't bother me. I'm open-minded. I listen to people that I know are better than me. That's just how it is. I listen to people that they have a life that I want. I'm going to listen to them. They know something that I don't, and I'm willing to put my ego to the side and learn from them. That's how it is. And everyone's different. I believe that. But you gotta just ultimately, your mind has to open up a little bit if you want the best in life. If you want to be more positive, you got to open up your mind, because you're thinking, oh, I want to be more positive because you're a negative person. That's why those thoughts come into your head. Or maybe you're delusional a little bit and you just tell yourself that you're negative even though you're not. And that happens too. That's why you just got to look at the logical side. Okay, what do I do that's negative? And you'll find out that, oh, nothing. So I'm back to your positive. There you go. Problem solved. But comparison is not the thief of joy. It can be. It just all depends on how you use it. So use it in the proper way. Compare yourselves to people that are better than you in a way to grow, not in a way to hurt yourself and make you feel down, because that's not what it's about. We're all different for a reason. We should be learning from each other. We shouldn't be holding each other back and hating on each other because this person lives a different life than me. No. If you are hating on them because they're better than you, it's because you want something that they have and you don't. So why not just stop being so egotistical and just learn? Like, social media, it's so toxic because that's what people do. They look at these models, they look at these Instagram models, they're like, man, their body's so much better than mine. But here's the thing, you can control that. Man, their face looks so much better than mine. But here's the thing, looks, I'm telling you right now, if you just took care of yourself in every aspect, lifting, being active, your diet, get a haircut, things like that. If you just took care of yourself in that sense, grooming, all that, you would be surprised at how much you actually will change your looks. Like, I'm being so serious. Most people are actually not ugly. When you really look at how they look, you'll find out that most people aren't ugly. It's just because our habits over time build up, and I feel like our body, yeah, sure, it takes it. But in my eyes, it can't take it no more, so that's why we view them as, oh, they're not good looking. When in all reality, sometimes it's just because, oh, they're too skinny. Oh, they're too big, they're too obese. Or they don't get a haircut, they're dirty, they don't take a shower, they don't take care of themselves, they're not clean. All these things are triggers that make us think they're ugly. But in reality, it's all in your control. Yes, the 1% of the population is ugly. Because there's people that have disorders, and there's people that will view it as that. They view it as ugliness. And that is the sad truth. But for the other 99%, most of you and me have the chance to be at least a little bit above average. If you just literally just take care of yourself, that alone will show. If you take care of your health, it will show through your skin, through your teeth, through your eyes. You'll look healthier. Things like your eyes being, like this part of your eyes being whiter, your skin being clearer. You take care of your teeth, they're whiter. What does that show? Attractiveness. If my teeth are yellow, I'm ugly now. Like, if you took this same face of me right now, and I show you my teeth, and they were bold yellow, you wouldn't think I'm attractive. Because of that one thing. You would take everything else to account, throw it out the door, and you would think I am unattractive. That is just a fact. So before you start going on yourself like, man, I'm so ugly. No, change your habits. Sometimes personality too can really like throw away your looks entirely. Like, there are some people that were good looking and I talk to them and it's just like, you just cannot speak to them because they're just either annoying or they're negative, or you don't like just being around, you feel weird, and it throws that attractive off the scale. And you don't even think about their looks anymore. You're just like, man, I just don't like the way I feel around this person. So yeah, but use comparison as a way to grow. Compare yourself to better people. Put your ego to the side. Learn from people that are better than you. We did it through school. We're learning it from people who know math better than us, people who know science better than us. So why not do it in the real world? The world where you can actually learn things that will help you in life. Why do we leave that alone? And I'm not an advocate for school. I'm really not. Now, if that's your thing, good for you. We have different opinions. But if one thing was to take out of school, it would be to learn from people that are better than me. My math teacher knows math way better than I do. I'll listen to them if I want to. If it's not my thing and I want to get better at, I'm not going to listen. It's just a fact. And that's how you are too. If you don't want to listen to it, you might sit there and listen. You might hear them, but you're not going to actually take into account what they're saying because you don't care. So it's the same thing with me with math and English and all that. I don't really give a shit. I don't care. But if you talk to me about, maybe how to be more positive, how to open up my mind more, how to treat people better, how to be more successful in life, how to really get fulfillment, I'll listen. And I'll listen for people that are better than me. So comparison is not the thief of joy. It's only the thief of joy if you let it be the thief of joy. That is what will kill your happiness. When you look at it as, oh, there's no room for me to grow, this person's so much better than me, and you blame it on genetics, or you blame it on, oh, they just got these surgeries, or this and that, and the fourth and the fifth. And let's be honest, we're comparing ourselves mainly out of looks. It's not even really anything else. Mostly looks. I think if I had to pick a top three that we compare ourselves to, it's looks, relationships, and money. Those are the main three that people compare themselves to all the time. So, taking what I'm saying into account, obviously, it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to listen. But I really do think when you look at it this way with comparison to other people, it gives you that chance to grow. So I hope you got something out of this video. I really do. I love making these videos. It helps me get my thought out there, helps people learn from me, and then I learn from some of you as well. But yeah. So if you find value in my videos, if you find value in this video, following me helps a lot. It helps, like I said before, it helps keep that motivation going to keep posting these videos. So I really appreciate it. And want to see the view that I'm looking at right now. Look at that. Looks like a screensaver. Elvis Presley. Well, look. Yeah. But other than that, though, life isn't too short to make a change. I wish the best for you.